सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। हरि ओम. So we were looking into the qualities of a Jivan Mukta Purusha, or the one who is liberated from agitations of the mind and non-apprehension of the reality while living itself. Non-apprehension, not knowing who I am, and as a result of that, there is a constant agitation of the mind, either in pursuit of desires or owing to the sufferings that one has to go through or endure. So, what is the point of all this, we may ask? Why should I strive so hard? What will I get if I realize the self? So, these verses from 446 to 464 talk about the result. The result is basically prarabdha or karma. Karma means the situations that we need to handle in life is our karma. Whether we need to handle tough situations or everything is going to be a smooth game for us anymore after realization, this karma is being handed over to us constantly. Karma, or the results of our action, is like the postman that carries a message. The postal service never ends up in any kind of an error. Even the postal service may end up in some error very rarely. There were cases of people who have received letters that was posted 30 years before, and after the person is dead, then they receive the letter. So such cases have been there in postal service. But in this karma messenger service, KMS, there is no error at all. In such a situation, what is the condition of a saint or a man of realization who has realized the truth? What happens to all the actions that he has done prior to realization? And what happens to all the actions that he does after realization? And what happens to actions that are giving results to him in this lifetime? So these verses are addressing that question, and it is good for us to know because it will be a great incentive to work towards realization. What is prarabdha karma? That's the first verse. Nididhyasanashilasya bahya pratyaya ikshate braviti shrutire tasya prarabdham phaladarshanat. Nididhyasanashilasya, for the one whose lifetime activity has become meditation. Shilasya bahya pratyaya ikshate. Sometimes even such a person has to experience what is happening outside, meaning he has to face the consequences of certain actions and engage in the world. Braviti shrutihi etasya. The shrutis or the Upanishads say that this is called prarabdha. It is happening because of prarabdha. Once the individual has realized the truth and is abiding in the truth, Ideally, there should be nothing else for that person to interact in this world, to speak in this world, to see and get out of this world. But even such people who realize the truth are also seen engaging in the world. They are talking, they are looking, they are eating, they are sleeping, they are bathing. The transaction with the world is continuing. Why is it so? It is because of something called prarabdha. Prarabdha phaladarshanat. How do we infer it is prarabdha? By seeing the results of what's happening. Result is they are still engaging in some kind of action, and it is caused by prarabdha. Prarabdha means prakarshena arabdha. We have initiated thoughts and desires in the past that has given rise to this physical body. And this physical body is our prarabdha. It is we have to handle it. You cannot dissolve the physical body just like that. It cannot go on its own out of time. It has to go through the period of time it is destined to be. So that is prarabdha phaladarshanat. We are able to see the results in physical presence, which is the physical body. Sukhadyanubhavo yavat tavat prarabdhamishyate phalodaya kriya purvo nishkriyo nahi kutrachitam. In this body, we have experiences of joy, of sorrow, of pain, of suffering. When we have those experiences, we should know that it is coming because of prarabdha. Yavat tavat prarabdham ishyate. Till the time we have these experiences, we know that the prarabdha is at work. Basically, prarabdha is this physical body and the experiences that we go through in the physical body. Phala udayaha kriya purvaha. Every action has got its result. For example, if we are getting certain results like pain, suffering, or even joy, or a focused mind, a dedicated opportunity to serve, many results are there that we experience in this body. So all these results go to show that there was some previous action preceding these results. Phala udayaha kriya purvaha. If I have done some action, then I will experience the result. Nishkriyaha nahi kutrachita. If a person is not doing any action, there can be no result at any point of time. This is the law. If I do some action, I will get some result. If I don't do any action, then no result comes. It is not avoiding action is also an action. So we are not talking about avoiding actions that are to be done. We are talking about generally out of a calm state of mind, out of a desireless state of mind, I don't perform any actions. That is the actionlessness that's spoken about here. Nishkriyaha nahi kutrachita. If a person is nishkriya, if a person is free of action, then he is not going to experience any result. Aham brahmeti vijnanat kalpakoti shatarjitam sanchitam vilayam yati prabodhat swapna karmavat. Suppose a person has heard from the master and from the Upanishads that I am Brahman. Aham brahmeti vijnanat. Not just hearing, but experiencing that reality within, that I am that Brahman. For that person, what happens? Kalpa koti shata arjitam. He has earned the results of actions performed in a crore kalpas. Kalpas are yugas, different yugas of many crore years. Of one yuga is made of many crore years. This is a crore of such yugas that have been lived. We have accumulated results of actions, prarabdha karma. We have accumulated the cause for a body. That's what it means. Prarabdha means body. We have accumulated reasons for those bodies to be born in future over crores of yugas in the past. This is called our sanchita karma. Sanchita karma is, I have done so much of actions that over a crores of lifetimes in different yugas, and I have accumulated so many reasons for taking bodies in further crores of lifetimes, being existence in this earth. But if I meditate and I have a clear realization within me that I am that Brahman, all the imprints that can give me bodies in the future over a crore period of lifetimes will be erased. So those imprints are gone. Accumulated impressions of past actions and memories are wiped out by contemplating on the truth of the statement Aham Brahma Asmi. It is as simple as that. We do not want to live when we are facing a lot of difficulties in life. And when once we have taken a body and are experiencing life, it is only full of joys and sorrows. Nobody can experience a life of only joy, and nobody experiences a life of only sorrow. But if at all we choose, we don't want joy, we don't want sorrow, then we should not want joy also. If we want such a choice, if we want to make such a choice, not in this lifetime, but in future lifetimes, then we should contemplate on the truth of the reality that I am Brahman. Then everything is erased. The whole slate is clean. Now, there is another possibility of actions that we may do from now that will give us the future births. What about those actions? Yat kritam swapna velayam punyam va papamulbanam suptothitasya kim tatsyat swargaya narakaya va. This verse is to reiterate the previous verse, the meaning of the previous verse. Yet, how does it happen that I will not get future actions? Yat kritam swapna velayam punyam va papam ulbanam. I do actions that are generating good results, punya karma, or I may do actions that don't generate good results, papa karma, in my dream. Supta utthitasya. Now, having woken up from the dream, will those actions in the dream, which are good, yield me punya, or which are evil, yield me papa? No. It is not going to give swarga, or it is not going to give naraka. In the same way, for the person who has realized the Brahman, whatever actions he has done in the past will neither yield swarga or neither give him naraka. The whole account is closed. Our karmic account of past is closed with the realization. Is a very great and important aspect of karma, which is being highlighted here. The reason why we should seek self-realization is the karmic account of the past is closed. it is not going to yield us, because we have done punya karma in the past, we are not going to get swarga, and because we have done papa karma in the past, we are not going to get naraka, which means even if I get swarga, I will come again on earth to exhaust the merits by living a good lifetime. When I live a good lifetime and exhaust the merits, I may also end up doing bad actions. It is very common to see that a person who is born with a silver spoon spends his life in a very in a very difficult manner, drinking, smoking, and gambling, or so many activities they do which are evil because of the presence of comforts in life. That is what being in Swarga means. When I'm in Swarga, I'm in a comfortable place in life. When I'm in a comfortable place in life, I don't usually strive for higher goals in life. I may become an addict to more evil actions which can pull me down. So that is a danger of having a life of Swarga. In the life of Naraka, where it is hell, always the desire to live in a comfortable life is there. The desire to enjoy the powers of the sense organs, the desire to enjoy fame, name, money, wealth will be there. That will force them to come again. And also Naraka is a very difficult period of time. Having gone through a lot of difficulties, having endured a lot of difficulties, they will also accumulate a lot of punya, which will further leave them into Swarga. So this is a cycle that doesn't end. But for the man of realization, because of the past actions, there is neither Swarga or there is neither Naraka. Swamasangam udasinam parignyaya nabho yatha nashlishyati cha yat kinchit kadachit bhavi karma bhihi. So this person, having realized the truth of the self, and because of that, his past karma, the results are completely erased. The results are not going to bear fruit because he has gone into a higher dimension of existence, a higher dimension of life, where everywhere he sees and everything he experiences is the Brahman alone. We do not experience the Brahman all the time. We experience joy, sorrow, we experience pain, we experience suffering, we experience anger, hatred, jealousy, and we act on those experiences. But for the person who has realized, his only experience is the sukha of Brahman, sukhena Brahma samsparsham. With a lot of joy, there is only the experience of Brahman. Swasangam, swam asangam udasinam parignyaya. Swam asangam. This person who has realized experiences that he is unattached to anything. He is not attached to any power. He is not attached to any position. He is not attached to any object, any person, any situation, because he has realized that state of his being, which is present everywhere in a state of non-attachment. Swam asangam. So such a person is udasinam. He is not, it is like taking a flight and going above the sky, or even taking a rocket and being in outer space. We are untouched by the movements of the world. In that case, udasinam. Parignyaya. This person completely knows the state of being. Asangam, not attached. Udasinam, being very high above all kinds of disturbances. Nabho yatha, like the sky. Nashlishyati chayat kinchit kadachit bhavi karmani. So whatever actions may happen through that person's physical presence in the world, the mind has reached such a state where it has gone out of the realms of physical existence and the results of those actions and the experiences of physical existence. So such is the state of that person's mind. And for that person, bhavi karmani, the future actions that he will do will also not create imprints in his mind. Because he has realized the totality of his self, and the person who is doing actions is a very tiny individual personality living on earth. This person has realized this cosmic form which transcends all universes. And so at any point of time, he is not going to be delving into the small pinpoint of a human personality living on earth. So whatever actions that small personality does on earth also will not affect this individual. That is bhavi karma. The body continues, he continues to live in earth, but he has realized the total nature of his own self. And because he has realized that nature and is abiding in that nature, he is not affected by the actions done by this tiny personality in response to the waves that are created in the world that prompt him into actions. That is called bhavi karma or the agami karma. So for the man of realization, the sanchita karma or the results of past actions are erased. Agami karma also does not have any effect on this person. He is untouched by the agami karma or the future actions that are done post realization. Now what is left here? There is this tiny body in this big universe of that self-realized being only. This tiny body may be like the tip of the finger which is sticking on earth. That's a size which we can think of ourselves as a body in terms of the totality of existence. So this tiny person is going through certain difficulties in life because of the presence of the body. Nothing can be done about that. The person has to go through it. Nanabhon Ghata Yogi. This is the previous verse, the continuation of how the agami karma or the future actions of the body will not disturb this person. Nanabho Ghata Yogena Sura Gandhena Lipyate Tathatmopadhi Yogena Tadharmaihi Naiva Lipyate. It's a very strange example. In a pot, Suragandha, the Surapanam is being poured in a mud pot. In that mud pot, there will be the smell of wine. Surapanam is wine. Even if you empty the wine from the mud pot will have the smell of wine. But the space in which the mud pot is there is not going to smell of wine. Even if you keep the mud pot here and you pour the wine and you remove the mud pot from here and keep it somewhere else, this space is not going to smell of wine, nor is that space going to smell of wine. That wine will touch only the mud pot and not the space. In the same way, Tatha Atma Upadhi Yogena, with the upadhi of this body, the actions of this body, tad dharmaihi, the actions of this body, the impact of the presence of this body is not going to touch that Atman or the Supreme Self which he has realized. So the bhavi karmani, the future actions will not affect him. Whatever the future actions means, when we say action, we are talking of actions like eating, sleeping, walking, talking, doing work, enjoying music, or through the sense organs, whatever we do, enjoying, all these are called actions. Those actions will not also touch this individual because he has become one with that consciousness which is not confined by any space. And the results of these actions, the karma phala or the impact of these actions will not touch that consciousness at all. तथा उपाधि योगेन तद्धर्मैः नैव लिप्यते. Now what happens to the physical body and the difficulties that the body goes through? ज्ञानोदयात् पुरारब्धं कर्म ज्ञानान्न नश्यति अदत्वा स्वफलं लक्ष्यं उद्दिश्योत् सृष्टबाणवत्. Now, as far as prarabdha karma, prarabdha is this body has been created at one point of time. We have a birth date. All of us have a birth date and the birth time. So this body came from the womb and it shoots through this earth up to the graveyard or the burial ground or the cremation ground, the tomb. From the womb, it goes like an arrow. This body is going like an arrow that is shot out from the womb unto the cremation. Adatva sapalam lakshyam uttishta utsrishta banavat. Now a person, an archer, he has got arrows in the quiver. Then he has got arrows that he has left, and already it has killed many animals over a period of lifetime. And he has a third arrow which is in motion. Now the arrows that he has taken from the quiver and already left and has killed animals or has escaped, some animals have escaped those arrows. These are all the results of his past karma, sanchita karma. And that sanchita karma is completely erased. Those animals that are killed, their impact will come on this person normally, but because he has become realized, he has lost the identity with the small ego. He is like the person who has been put in jail and is now no more. And so the case will be automatically closed. He is not going to be affected by those actions after that, the results of those actions. And so that is sanchita karma. Now, agami karma is the quiver behind and all the arrows in the quiver, which is not taken. And even those are not going to affect it. If he has to do out of necessity, if he has to kill and eat for his food, then he will take, and that action is not going to cause any result because he is not killing with any kind of a vengeance. He is just killing as a matter of to sustain his own health. If he's a self-realized person I'm talking about. But for this self-realized person also, he may have left an arrow from the quiver, strung the bow, pulled the string up to the ear, and then let the arrow to go. Now, that arrow which is going cannot be brought back and cannot be nullified. He has to, the arrow or the karma has to be experienced. Jnanodayat pura arabdham karma. So, jnana udayat, the karma caused before the dawn of knowledge. See, I am doing a lot of actions now in this janma. I have been doing actions from my birth, and at one point of time, suppose say because of the blessings of the Guru, blessings of Ishvara, I realize the true self in this lifetime, and I am abiding in meditation in that true self. But I have done certain actions in this lifetime, and those actions are arrows that have been left. And those arrows will bring me results in this lifetime. I cannot avoid those results. Jnanatana nashyati. Because I have realized the self, those actions will not, the results of those actions mean the experiences that I have to face because of those actions will not be destroyed. The sanchita karma is about all the actions of the past lives. It is not the actions done in this life. In all the past lives before this, whatever actions we have done anymore, they will stop yielding results of heaven and hell, because the whole account is closed. The future karma, it will not affect us so much, because we have realized the true self, and whatever is happening is only a minuscule movement in our consciousness which will not be experienced at all. So it is not going to affect us. But in the present lifetime, before attainment of this knowledge, whatever actions I have done, I have to face the consequences of those actions. Those actions, the consequences of those actions will not be destroyed, because I have attained this knowledge of the self. Adatva swaphalam lakshyam. So that is the reason why we see many Mahatmas who are suffering from many diseases. We ask, what is the use of self-realization and all this sadhana that I do, if I have to go through all this suffering? The only answer is, the suffering is caused by the action. The actions means it is not only individual actions. As long as we are living in this earth, we are bound by the actions done by all living beings in this earth, the whole of humanity. The good and the bad actions, they bind us, and also our own personal actions which we have done without this knowledge of the self. Whatever actions we may have done for our own selfish interests, because of that only we have survived so long. It is very difficult to survive in this world if there is not any amount of selfishness in us, or any amount of evil in us. Both good and evil together only makes this human life possible. So jnanodayat purarabdham karma jnanat na nashyati. Whatever action, jnanodayat purarabdham means this body, which is the result of thoughts and desires that have been entertained in the past. The thoughts and desires that have been entertained in the past have given us this physical body. So this is the pura arabdham. This is what is called prarabdha karma. This physical body is the prarabdha. This physical body will not disappear on self-realization. Excuse me. That's what it means. This physical body, adatva swaphalam lakshya. This body has been aimed towards a goal. And what is the goal of this body? To go to the tomb. That is the work. Until that happens, lakshyam uddishya utsrishta banavat. Like the arrow that has been left from the bow, this body is the arrow of our thought and desire that has been left from the bow of our life into this earth, and until it reaches the graveyard or the cremation ground, this body's prarabdha will not be erased, because of the knowledge that we have. So what does it mean to us? Even if it is, for example, if I have thought that I am aiming this at a tiger, for example, this body was the mind that created this body is full of rajas, meaning qualities that have animal instincts, like anger, hatred, jealousy, fear, laziness, sloth. With all those states of mind, this physical body has been created, and it is delivered into this world. This next verse is very beautiful. Vyaghra buddhya vinirmukto banaf paschatu gomatau न तिष्ठति छिनत्येव लक्ष्यं वेगेन निर्भरम्. This body was a creation of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. The Rajoguna and Tamoguna qualities were so predominant, and that is the cause for the creation of this body. So that is Vyagra Buddhi. Vyagra means tiger. So the hunter aimed at the tiger and left his arrow. The arrow is going to hit the tiger, but as the arrow is going, the tiger runs away and a cow comes there in that place. This arrow will hit that cow. Just because the tiger is gone and the cow has come, it doesn't mean that the arrow will not do its work. The arrow will do its work. Here, the aiming at the tiger is Rajoguna and Tamoguna. With the desire for the enjoyment of Rajoguna and Tamoguna, this body has been created. But because of Purva Janma Sat Vasana, this individual found a guru, found the scriptures, realized the true self, meditated upon it, and realized the true self. And so this individual, from a tiger, he has become a cow, sattvic in nature. Just because this person has become a cow, it doesn't mean that this body will stop giving its result. This body will still continue to move on, and it'll just because this person has become the cow, it is not that the arrow will go back to the quiver. The arrow will continue on its journey and finish only up to the point when all the power and steam has run out of the arrow and it falls on the ground, which means until the point of time when the body drops dead. Vyagra buddhya vinirmuktaha banaha paschattu gomatau natishtati chinatti eva lakshyam vegena nirbharam. The arrow which has been sent with all the speed will not stop on its course because the tiger is gone now and the cow has come in its place. The arrow does not have that sense of discrimination. It will go through it and complete its work for which it has been sent. So the agami karma or the future karma, we may not really experience so much the impact of the karmas which are done in the future. Whereas sanchita karma, all those actions are erased because of realization of the self. But the prarabdha karma of the body, the prarabdha of the body means this body has begun its journey in this world. So that is prarabdha. The prarabdha karma of the body will go through its course. But even this will not affect the person of realization because he does not anymore identify himself as the body. The subsequent verses which we will see tomorrow will explain how prarabdha karma also will not really affect that man of realization or the woman of realizing. That we will see tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। हर नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम।